About 10 years ago, I made a guitar video tutorial on Yesterday, and quite recently one of my followers, Jim Hurlick, wrote me and said, listen, your tutorials are the most accurate on the internet, but you are missing one chord in Yesterday. And I said, no way. Because the basic rule here on the web is that if something is out since 5 years or so and nobody complained about it, it must be correct. So a little smug, I went there and checked, and the guy was right. I had one chord partially wrong. So I decided to remake the whole lesson by also adding some nuances that I discovered along the way. And this is going to be, at least in my opinion, the ultimate guitar tutorial on the song. Let me quickly tell you a few things that you need to know if you want to reproduce the song the closest possible to the original. You can also skip this part to the actual lesson, but I suggest that you listen to this one carefully because it's very important, even under an historical point of view. So, first of all, we are tuned down one full step, so what I'm playing in G is actually an F. Second, the way Paul strums the strings in Yesterday. He used this type of strumming only for Yesterday throughout the whole Beatles career. To reproduce this strumming, we have to place our wrist here on the bridge as it did, and then it would be natural to pluck the string here in this portion of the string, just 3 fingers away from the saddle, like this, with 2 fingers this way. And you can also see him playing this way live. Just as an historical note, the guitar that Paul played during the recording of Yesterday was his 1964 Epiphone Texax. This is a recent Asian copy. And this guitar features a longer scale, a longer neck. This means that the strings are more tensioned, and this delivers a brighter sound, a well-defined low end, and a longer sustain, which is typical of the sound that you hear in the recording. Despite the fact that on this specific guitar the strings are more tensioned, the fact that Paul tuned down the guitar one full step caused the neck to back bow a little bit. And this is what creates this interesting buzzing effect on the low strings that you're hearing in the song. They're here to stay. Oh, I believe. In the introduction of Yesterday, Paul plays a G chord. He starts by playing a G at the 3rd fret of the lowish string, and then with his 2 fingers, index and medium, he will strum only the 1st, the 2nd and the 3rd string without touching the 4th D string. And I cannot overemphasize how the way we play is even more important than what we are playing in terms of chords, and this is the typical case. So we have Paul giving a growing dynamic to each strumming. The emphasis that Paul delivers in the introduction creates a sense of suspense and engagement that prepares the listener for the heartfelt and meaningful lyrics that are coming. Paul enters the verse coming from the G that he played in the introduction. After the G, he plays a F sharp minor 7 and a B7. And he plays them by strumming from the 2nd string up, like this. Because the F sharp on the 1st I string here, all my troubles seem so, will clash with the vocals. By passing through the F sharp minor and the B7, Paul plays an open G and open D string, 3rd and 4th. This way. After the G, Paul goes into a E minor, and then to a C major 7 by passing through an open D. And then D7, and then again the G. From the G we pass to a E minor by walking down with the low string on the F sharp, so. And then E minor, and we had the 7, E minor 7. Open E, open A. We go to a A chord that I play like this. So. And then open second, third and fourth string. We go to a C. And then G. The whole thing again. In the second verse, Paul only changes a few things on the bass line. So, for example, instead of playing, he plays. The most important part of the changes is the last part of the second verse that introduces the middle 8. So instead of playing, he stays on the A. This way. Then he introduces the middle 8 with a passage. The passage is this one. So upstroke on the first 3 strings, bass on the G, and then open B and G string. And then the next 2 chords, F sharp minor and B7, this time in the middle 8 are strummed from the first string. This way. So remember, in the verse you strum the 2 chords F sharp and B7 from the second string, and in the middle 8 you strum them from the first string. Then it goes into a sort of baroque arpeggio that goes like this. And about this one, let me first show you which strings I'm playing, and then the fingers, and then the full movement, okay? So the first chord is E minor, played like this with the medium finger at the second fret on the D string. And then I raise the medium finger and I place my ring finger on the second fret of the high E string. And then I move here, and this requires some attention because I'm only playing, and Paul is only playing 2 notes. So these are medium finger on the 3rd fret of the A and pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the high string, and you only place these 2 notes. Like this. Then I simply move down everything 1 full fret. I replace the pinky with the ring finger and play again just this note and this note. So like this, and then I simply raise the ring finger and I upstroke the first 3 strings. So like this. Then I go into the famous chord that everybody mistakes, me as well, in the last tutorial that I made. So this chord is actually a simple A minor. It's not an A minor 7, it's an A minor where you don't play the D string because you mute it with the tip of the medium finger. So you go here and add the 6 as well on the 2nd fret of the high string. So you are already on the D7 by simply moving the thumb, and then you go back on the G. So like this. Here in the middle 8 as well, Paul makes a few variations, like for example a hammer on here, going directly into the A minor 6, like this. At the end of the last verse, Paul plays an outro which goes like this. This one is played by upward strumming only the first three strings, and by placing the pinky at the third fret on the first string, the ring finger at the third fret of the second string, and going down on the second string like this. So ring finger, medium, index. And then there is a hammer on like this. Cool, we are at the end of the video, and as you probably noticed, this was quite a elaborated guitar arrangement for a 24-year-old guy. So as usual, if you want to comment, leave me your comments below. I will reply to them. Let me know if you enjoyed this lesson. Please support the channel. Any amount is well accepted for these videos. And next video will probably be about the bass of Hey Bulldog, how to play the bass of Hey Bulldog. So see you next time, next video. Ciao!